It's a welcome home party tonight in San Francisco. An old friend and fan favorite makes his way to the mound at AT Park. And a new friend gets to pitch in front of the home crowd at 3rd and King for the first time. It's former Giant Ryan Vogelsong going up against brand new Giant Matt Moore in game 1 of the series, and it's next. We are back at AT Park on this Monday night as we get ready for Giants baseball. Pirates Giants game 1 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants, well, they probably had a short night trying to get over the loss yesterday, but that's what you have to do. You got to get over it. And they welcome the Pirates into town. They'll face an old friend, Ryan Vogelsong, and the Giants will get their first look, Giants fans, at Matt Moore.
Yeah, a lot going on tonight. The one thing that is good coming out of yesterday is the offense scored 7 runs on 14 hits, and they're going to take that confident offense into this game tonight against Ryan Vogelsong, who will get a nice warm welcome. But then the Giants fans are going to be rooting for Matt Moore, who has pitched very well but still does not have his first Giants win. Hopefully that all changes tonight. You're going to see a lot of fly balls and strikeouts from Mr. Moore.
Buster Posey still suffering some back stuff. Maybe we'll see him as a pinch hitter. Probably. All right. Should be a fun one here at AT&T Park. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our CSN Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by Toyota. Hurry in for Toyota's annual clearance event to get an incredible deal on the 2016 Toyota you want before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places.
Your San Francisco Giants, they're going to channel some Gaylord Perry this evening as they need a bounce-back win in a big way. Last time the Giants have had back-to-back wins, July 30th and 31st, and that is simply too long. So tonight they get a clean slate. They welcome in the Pittsburgh Pirates for a 3-game series. Welcome back to our broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. A lot of storylines tonight. Of course, brand new Giant Matt Moore will be making his first career start here at AT&T Park, and he's going up against former Giant and a fan favorite in Ryan Vogelsong, who will be down in the Pirates Union on the hill to face his former teammates. But you know that once a Giant, always a Giant, and Ryan was a great Giant. His performance in the 2012 Game 6 NLCS, it is our greater coverage of baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. As we look back, Vogie put up stellar numbers. 7 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. He had a career high 9 strikeouts, and it was his signature moment as a Giant. I talked with pitching instructor Dave Righetti this afternoon about that game. He remembers it very well, even said Ryan's fastball was up a tick that evening, and the key was he had location on both sides of the plate. He knew how much Ryan wanted to be part of a championship, and you could tell in his performance that evening. But tonight, it's down to business, and they need to beat Ryan Vogelsong. Matt Moore will be on the hill. Giants take it on the Pirates. Crew can kite, first pitch, lineups, it's all coming your way. Bogey's back in the house.
Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 64 degrees. You see winds at 11 miles per hour. Humidity is at 70%, and it is a cool night at the corner of 3rd and King. All right, let's take a look at the Pirates lineup. It's a good lineup. The lineup that'll be facing Matt Moore. It'll be Harrison, Mercer, and then McCutchen. David Freese is going to be the cleanup hitter, followed by Marte, Gong, and then Cervelli. Look at Polanco. Polanco's got the best numbers of anybody in this lineup, and he's hitting 8th, and he does well against the Giants. Vogelsong will hit 9th.
Matt Moore about ready to make his Giants home debut. And Giants fans, let me introduce you to Mr. Matt Moore. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, 27 years of age. He's in his 5th year at the big league level. He's from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Lives in St. Petersburg, Florida. And when you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid-90s, more mids than lows. Big curveball. It's a hard biter that he'll strike out lefties and righties with, and he'll throw a changeup. It's a changeup he uses a split finger grip with. This is what he has done this year between Tampa and the Giants. 7-8 with a 3.99 ERA. His last 8 starts, he's really turned it up a notch. 4-3 with an ERA of 2.22, and opponents hit just 184. And the Giants, he's 0-2, but with an ERA of 3.00. They haven't scored him any runs. Fly ball, strikeout type pitcher. Has never faced the Pirates, so tonight he'll start his career with Pittsburgh. And what do you say we take a look at the defense that is playing behind Matt Moore tonight, starting in the outfield for the Giants from left to right. It'll be Pagan, Span, and Pence. Crawford, Nunez will be on the left side of the infield. Panic and Bell will be on the right side. Buster Posey another day off with a little tightness in his lower back. So that means Trevor Brown will be in the squad, putting down the signs. And right now, it is time for our Nissan keys to the game. First key, take what Vogie gives you. Ryan Vogelsong is going to stay on the corners, and you have to be disciplined to one side of the plate. Be patient, take what he gives you. Number 2, Matt Moore, enjoy AT&T. You were playing in a ballpark in Tampa that really wasn't that friendly for fly balls. It is here, especially to the right side of the field. So those are our Nissan keys to the game.
I have one question.
Yes.
Matt Moore has not had the luxury of a forgiving strike zone. What about tonight?
Well, the strike zone that he gets tonight, Mike Malinsky, is a lot more forgiving. It's a low zone, and it can be tight early, but you will get corners as the game wears on if you show Malinsky that you can throw strikes.
All right, well, here we go.
And I do think it's going to take Malinsky a few curveballs before he adjusts to it, and he may miss a couple early on in the game, but all in all, I like Malinsky's strike zone. He's a hard worker.
So here's Josh Harrison. He will lead things off, and the first pitch of the ball game is a high foul out of play. So we get started at 7:16.
There's the umpire's kite was talking about. Malinsky behind the plate. Foster at first. Doug Eddings at second. Mike Winters, the crew chief, will be at third.
Swinging a foul back, 0-2.
And with Matt Moore, he thinks fastball, and you're going to see a lot of them.
4 home runs, 46 driven in for Josh Harrison. Play all over the place. And this is grounded sharply to Nunez, and this game gets started with a 5-3 putout.
The pitch usage for Matt Moore, we're talking about how he likes that fastball. 63% of the time you're going to see a fastball. And in the curveball changeup, he'll throw more changeups to righties, more curveballs to lefties. But that doesn't mean he won't throw curveballs to lefties and curveballs to righties. I mean, he mixes it up pretty well, but still, he thinks fastball.
Jordy Mercer hitting at 270. He's got 8 home runs, 44 runs batted in. The only hitter in this lineup that has ever faced Matt Moore before is Francisco Cervelli, the Pirates catcher. It's 2-0, and Cervelli is 0 for 3 lifetime. With Andrew McCutchen on deck. We ain't gonna miss. Now when you talk about the Pirates, they're 3 games over 500, but they're very much involved in the wild card race. They will not catch the Cubs in the National League Central. Swinging a high fly ball to left. Actually more of a pop-up to Pagan, and that's out number 2. So here's McCutchen. And McCutchen pops it up. And it'll be Joe Panik. And Panik doing the pop-up backpedal dance, and he puts it away. And a nice inning from Matt Moore, and he only threw 8 pitches. We're going to stay here, and we're going to stay here primarily so we can hear the introduction and the ovation that Giants fans are sure to give Ryan Vogelsong. And they're also going to play, I do believe, some things on the video board about Ryan Vogelsong. And Rennell is speaking right now, telling the fans exactly what's going on.
AT Park experience later on in the game to possibly see your photo. The AT Park experience is brought to you by AT. Mobilizing your world.
And now fans are standing in acknowledgement of one of the great Giant warriors, and that's Ryan Vogelsong.
I can guarantee that sent shivers up his spine because it did to us. So Ryan Vogelsong on the hill. Parts of the 2012-2014 championship. What a wonderful welcome that was. And I'm sure he'll never forget it.
So 2-time World Series titles back in 2012 and 2014. And in his 7 starts in postseason, the Giants were 7-0. He was an all-star in 2011, and you see his 2012 postseason starts. They don't win anything in 2012 without him. And remember when he came back to the Giants, signed a minor league contract. He said, "I want to get back to the World Series." And we didn't have the heart to tell him, well, they just came back from the World Series. I mean, another one would be, he said, no, he said, I think we can do it. And they did it twice more. The lineup that'll face Vogelsong, it'll go like this. It'll be Span, Pagan, and Belt. And then Crawford's going to be the cleanup hitter. Hunter Pence, you see his numbers lifetime against the Pirates. Panik, Nunez, and Brown. No Buster Posey tonight, and Matt Moore will hit 9th.
Vogelsong on the hill tonight. That's what he has done this year. And this will be start number 5. 1-2 with a 2.67. Had really a horrific injury, being hit in the face, and it put him on the disabled list with fractures in his cheekbone. He thought he would never come back. Well, here he is, 39 years old. He's a 10-year veteran. 6'4", 215-pounder. And you take your bats against him, you're going to see a low 90s fastball, cutters, curveballs, changeups, anything at any time, and a lot of corner command. That's his key.
And the first pitch to Span is a called strike. Span hitting at 259, 5 home runs, 38 driven in. In at third is Gong, and that's down the left field line and out of play. It's 0-2. Span, of all the hitters in this Giants lineup, has faced Vogelsong more than anybody. He's been up 18 times against Vogelsong, 5 for 18. That includes postseason. Got a couple of doubles and a triple. And the pitch is high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Talked about the Pirates Pirates are a game and a half back in the wild card. And it's low to Span. Dodgers are 3.5 up on the Cardinals, who have the second spot right now, and then the Marlins, and then the Pirates. So Pirates have a lot to play for. The Mets are 2.5 back of that second spot, and of course they come into town on Thursday. Spirited competition all week.
Yeah, good baseball. It's the big leagues. I never said it was going to be easy.
Out of play. Vogelsong, who has slowed down considerably as far as the pace of how he pitches since he came to the Giants. And that's his right. And tries to shave the outside corner. It's now 3-2.
And that's what he has to do. We first saw him and first got to the big leagues in 2001, and he threw hard. Good arm, mid-90s plus.
And this is popped up, but it's going to reach the seats as Gong gives chase, but it's about 20 rows back.
The other thing too about Vogelsong, he's just never going to give in to this middle of the plate. He's just not going to do it.
I mean, he would rather walk a guy.
He'd rather walk a guy. He's going to stay on the corners.
On the ground towards the hole. Gone to his left to cut it off. And Span is retired.
Let's take a look at the Pirates defensively, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Marte, McCutchen, and Polanco. That's your outfield. Great arms in left and in right. Mercer, Gong on the left side. Harrison and Freese on the right side. And Francisco Cervelli, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Pagan. Pagan hitting at .289, 8 home runs. He's got 40 runs batted in. Span saw 8 pitches from Ryan Vogelsong, and Pagan takes a strike.
I'm sure that'll be one of the things the Giants talked about, knowing that Vogelsong isn't going to give in to you. You can run the pitch count up on him.
And that's a fair ball down the right field line. It'll kick right to Polanco, and that's a 1-out double for Pagan.
Stay hot, Angel Pagan. And that's a 13-game hitting streak. And all the National League players, and that's the one that's on top right now. Let's take a look at it. Change up, down and in. His body has a little bit of a slide out towards the front foot, but the hands stay back and perfectly places it down the line past David Freese, the first baseman for the Pirates.
So Bell will hit with Pagan at second base here in the bottom of the first. And the first pitch is up and in to move Brandon Belt off the plate. It's 1 ball and no strikes. See, against lefties, righties, consistent. At home, on the road, consistent.
Oh, that's the key if you're going to be a big leaguer. I mean, consistency is the one thing you strive for.
Driven to right. It's got top spin, and it's going to fall. So stopping at third is Pagan. If that doesn't have top spin, Polanco's going to catch it.
He squared it up. That was a solid swing of the bat. There's the top spin you're talking about. And from Angel Pagan's perspective, he's got to wait to see if that ball is going to get caught. So with one out, they're not going to take on Polanco's arm. He's got one of the best in the game.
Here's Crawford at 272 with 11 home runs, 71 runs batted in. He's got an RBI, a potential RBI at third with one out. And it's wide, 1-0. Giants come in a game up on the Dodgers, who have the day off today. Dodgers are traveling today. They're 33-23. They're 10 games over 500 at home. Tried to shave it again. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
This time with a changeup. Vogelsong followed that pitch in. He thought he should have had a strike. He's just going to stay out there. He knows he doesn't have the type of stuff anymore. Just a flat-out challenge in the middle of the strike zone. So he's got to be on the corner. He has to move his movements around. He's got to move his speeds around.
So he clips the outside corner at the knees. That is not one you want to swing at if you're Brandon Crawford.
It's an Irish gamer, babe. Welcome.
2 balls and a strike.
It is Irish Heritage Night tonight.
I was always under the impression that if you're Irish, you don't need a special night to honor yourself. Or seems like they seem to have a good time every night.
Well, yeah. But we knew it was Irish Heritage Night when we had corned beef for dinner.
Three and one. Hunter Pence is on deck. And the walk.
Stays to a corner. And if you're taking your bats against him, I mean, you have to sit with that in mind. You look either inside or outside and stay on that side of the plate. Timeout for our Togos. Our pitch usage for Ryan Vogelsong, 55% fastball, and basically going to see a lot of hard stuff between the cutter and the fastball. And the changeup, curveball, everything he has, he'll throw in a 3-2 count.
So here's Pence. Pence at 274. 8 home runs, 38 driven in. You got Pagan, Belt, and Crawford. And a little soft line drive caught by Gong at third. 2 outs. And here's Panic. Joe Panic hitting at 245, 7 home runs. He's got 39 runs batted in. And one of the things that we watch Ryan Vogelsong do very well, and that's the ability to pitch through traffic.
He'll never change his style. I mean, he just is not going to give in to you. And he has no problem pitching behind the count. 1-0, 2-0, 3-1. He doesn't care. He's going to throw his pitches. He really believes in his ability to control the corners. Very compact motion for a big man.
Two and 0.
And because of it, he is kind of can be victimized by a high pitch count early in a game. It's commonplace to see him get right around 100 pitches in a 5-inning outing.
I mean, but if you're the manager and you know that, well, then you manage accordingly. Two and 0 to Panic. 3-0.
The way that Joe Panic's been swinging the bat, they might green light it.
They might. Absolutely.
Giants know Ryan Vogelsong very well. They know what his tendencies are when he gets down to count 3-0. What side of the plate he'll use. It's usually away.
And a strike.
Taken all the way.
Eduardo Nunez is on deck. And the walk. So the Giants on the board. It's 1-0. Ray Searage is out.
Yeah, I think Series understands how pumped up Vogelsong is, especially after the ovation he got at the start of this inning. So this is just calm it down. Find out how the ball feels coming out of his hand. Try and get ahead early.
Nunez has got a lifetime home run against Vogelsong. Well, we got it. You can't fool our guys.
All right, let's take a look. It was in New York when Nunez is with the Yankees. Down and in, stayed inside it. Took the try.
Nunez at 286, 12 home runs, 49 runs batted in. And he gets a breaking ball slowly hit to Gong. Gong charges and throws, and they got him. And that's going to end the inning. Giants on the board after one. It's 1-0.
Baseball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by AAA. Get a free road trip day pack with a AAA insurance quote. Go to AAA.com/road trip or a AAA branch for details. Restrictions apply.
Well, Giants season tickets are currently sold out, but you can get on deck right now for your 2017 season tickets with a $500 per seat non-refundable deposit. The season ticket deposit allows access to purchase potential 2016 division home playoff games. And here's your chance to become a Giants season ticket member. Go to sfgiants.com/season.
David Freese takes a call strike. It's 1-0 Giants. Hey, you have to condense those if I'm doing play-by-play, right?
That's right. Season tickets. Call this number.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at that. You had a full page. Oh, 0-2 to David Freese. Out of play as Matt Moore continues to pound the strike zone. And another 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Out of play again.
I mean, you look at the numbers in the first two starts that Matt Moore had in the Giants uniform, and you say, well, 6 innings in both outings, so 12 innings, 14 strikeouts, 11 walks. And you think, well, this guy's wild. And he's not. In both those games, he had a very tight strike zone to work with and didn't get a lot of help on the corners by either umpire.
Got him.
Good curveball. And Giants fans are going to love that curveball.
Freese departs, and here's Starling Marte.
High 3/4 release, and that's very, very Barry Zito-like. As you take a look at our Exmo brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, and the only difference is it's harder. Throws it at a greater velocity than Zito did.
Yeah, he actually squares up really nice too.
Which will allow him to the ability to feel his position.
High into center field with room. I think Marte hit that ball pretty good. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, I had a chance to catch up with Matt Moore about making his home debut as a San Francisco Giant, his first career start here at AT&T. And he said he definitely had nerves, but he was really looking forward to it. He said what's helped him settle in is he's already had a couple of starts with the Giants on the road, which gave him a chance to know his team a little bit. He said the last few days he's loved how the seats are filled here at AT&T Park, and he can already feel the effect of the fan base on the opposing team. He loves it. He did say, though, it is cold here. He's got to become one with the cold, guys.
Well, one with the cool.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Moore's from Florida. He's pitching in air conditioning here.
Well, it's a great place to pitch.
And a check swing roller foul to Gong, who's hitting .238.
This ball's trying to come back to fair territory and just finally dies in foul territory. But you do have to make some adjustments when you're in colder weather. It's not as easy to get a feel of the ball because you don't get perspiration on your hand. That's the bad. The good is if you're pitching in the Midwest or the East Coast right now, you're going to lose 6-7 pounds as a starter. Here you'll lose a half pound.
There was a time in our new profession that we would actually gain a pound or two doing games.
Well, I think that's still a problem. Especially in towns like Milwaukee, Cincinnati,
2-2.
Pittsburgh,
St. Louis,
Philadelphia.
all of them.
Yep, pretty much.
Two and 2. 3-2.
But here's where this ballpark is great. In this situation right here, you get a fastball, aim for the outside part of the plate, let a guy have his best bolt to the right side of the field.
That's foul down the left field line.
And you let this ballpark help yourself out. Yep,
Yeah.
Gamer Babe got it.
All right, now we're talking.
Got a bit.
And the walk. So first base runner. Bringing Cervelli to the plate. Remember, Cervelli, the only Pirate to ever face Matt Moore. Yeah, Chicago style. That's the way Mike likes him.
That's exactly the way Mike likes him. I want to get that. I want to get that.
I always figure the wiener's got to be bigger than the actual thing that's holding it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Totally believe that.
And a strike. I mean, that looks awesome.
He's walking down the aisle. You know what he's thinking about? The first bite.
Thinking about not dropping it.
Well, so if that guy walks by me in the aisle and he's got one of those, I'm going to get up and go get one.
Swing and a miss, nothing in two. By the way, Matt Moore came over from Tampa Bay thinking that he was going to throw to Buster Posey. He hasn't yet. It's been Trevor Brown, and Brown's done a nice job. Cervelli, good hitter. When the Giants played the Pirates 4 games in Pittsburgh, Cervelli was on the disabled list. He's a good player.
Good catcher. Got a good idea at the plate. Definitely one of the leaders on this club. Pirates are a much different team than what the Giants just saw with Baltimore. Baltimore had 14 steals as a team all year. Pirates are completely different. They have 88, and they will run a lot.
Yeah, Marte's got 40. So a full count. This is the first time Matt Moore has been out of the stretch. And with this pitch, Jung-Ho Gong is going to be on the move. It's 3-2. And he walked him. So maybe the stretch is being a little problematic right now as Gregory Polanco steps up. Now Polanco, 274, 16 home runs, leads this team with 61 runs batted in. And he's the only lefty in this lineup, and I'm assuming that's why he's hitting 8th.
Well, he's also been cold. Trevor Brown senses that there's something that Matt Moore's not completely convinced of. Not the time to be second guessing a pitch, so he's going to come out and talk about it. But Polanco, as we mentioned, he's been cold, but he's one of those guys that can heat up in an instant. He always pitched to him as if he's hot. Started off hot. First couple months he was on fire, and then he slowed down in June, July, and now August he has hit on hard times. But again, you don't pitch to him like he's in a slump.
So the big breaking ball as he opens up the at bat with a curveball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
And he's got a base to play here with Vogelsong on deck. And Vogelsong, not that great a hitter.
hooks this one foul. Get out of the way, Nick Leyva.
Get out of the way. Glenn Casillas. I mean, that was a bullet going right down to our ball dude, first base side. But hey, he's a left-handed catcher, and they don't make many of those. He stood his ground. Had a babe. Mark Madden over there on the other side. Got the first glove they've ever made.
Looks like somebody did a nice job of restringing that glove, too. Her ball out of play, club level.
Well, you always can tell when it finds a good home. He was thinking about throwing it back.
I think he was. Hit towards the gap. Pagan's got a beat on it, and that's going to end the inning. Brown, Moore, Span coming up.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Giants Insider Podcast is sponsored by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition and is live on CSNBayArea.com. You can log on each week as insider Alex Pavlovich. That's right, Alex. He's going to talk baseball, and it's also available on iTunes. So Brown takes down low. It'll be Brown, and then Moore, and then Denard. Span. Nice game yesterday from Trevor Brown. 3 hits in the game. And a called strike.
That's nice to have an offensive day like that when you haven't been starting. And he's swinging the bat with some confidence because of it tonight.
Two balls and 1 strike. And Brown, kind of an emergency swing, chases somebody down the railing.
Well, it looked like Rick Sofield, third base coach, Just had the ultimate ugly finder heat up on him.
Rick.
Keep that helmet on, Rick.
In tight to Brown. Well, we've given this guy a hard time over the last week. And the gentleman next to Stretch is Jeff Idelson. He's the president of the Hall of Fame. And, of course, he likes to hang with his Hall of Famers. I don't blame him. And the walk to Brown. And, you know, we've had ample opportunity to explain to Jeff that the thievery of Brandon Crawford's bat, we were just kidding.
Yeah, kind of. But Jeff was a little disappointed this year that Willie McCovey was not able to make the Hall of Fame induction. Mike Piazza and King Griffey Jr. So here they are. They're making up for lost time.
Absolutely. I have to tell you, as Moore lays down a perfect bunt. In the game of baseball, he is one of my favorite guys. Stretch and Idelson.
No doubt. That's a good combination right there.
He's a good dude. We can't get him to take any of our stuff with him to Cooperstown, but we still think he's a great guy.
And Estelle on the right, Willie McCovey's significant other. Really comes to every game. Sits right next door to us. The great McCovey.
So here's Span with Brown now at second base.
So how about the bunt from Matt Moore on the first pitch?
Beautiful. Span bounced out to third in the first inning. First pitch low, strike. No balls and one strike. Brown drew the walk, the bunt, and now Span trying to knock him in. Vogelsong taking a long time, and now he steps off.
With Trevor Brown at second base, you think catcher, average speed at best? Not so. He's got pretty good speed.
He does. Pagan to follow.
Hey,
out in the Cove.
If you're waving at me, howdy.
Good Giants fans out in the Cove tonight. Pulled foul. It's 1-2. And the 1-2 to Span. 2-2. Giants scored a run in the first, a couple of hits, a walk, and then panic walk with the bases loaded. Vogelsong did get a big out. He was facing Pence with the bases loaded and one out, and retired Pence on a soft line drive to third. On the ground foul again.
Staying with that breaking ball on the inside corner, letting that break fall off the strike zone towards his back foot. He's got two types of breaking ball, and you see the curveball. He's throwing three of them. This at bat to Span. He's also got the cutter.
Bogey taking a long walk, trying to think about this next pitch. Unless, well, I get it. They're taking a look at Cervelli.
Got some dirt kind of came up and got him in the eye. Obviously, he does not wear contacts.
I don't know. I'd be a little bit more gentle, wouldn't you? Hey, can you take the thumb out of my eye?
Seriously, I hope you cut your fingernails. Trainer was digging in. Like he's inspecting an ear and not an eye.
What are you looking for? It's 2 balls.
Catchers, you know, seriously, you couldn't do that with any other position on the field.
Catcher, I can stick my whole hand in there. So it's 2-2 to Span. Span rolls this one. Foul. Kicked foul right at the bitter end. Well, if you're Cervelli, you just want to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Or you want to call for somebody else to take a look at your eye.
Please, over there. Tell that guy to leave the pine tar rag in the on deck circle.
Yeah, can we get somebody out of the stands? Span had a long at bat in the first. He's having another one here in the second. Cat and mouse game now. And a line drive into left field, a base hit, and here comes Brown. Marte's got it. His throw is in time. They got him. It looked like Brown was going to slide maybe past the tag, but they're going to say that he got him.
And they did. What a great throw, and what a tremendous tag from Cervelli. And that will not be contested. We talked about Francisco Cervelli and what type of a player he is, and he really showed you his skills around home plate. And he made that play. Wow.
So here's Pagan. Pagan doubled in the first. Nice at bat by Span. And a strike to Pagan. Span with 12 steals. You would think if Span was feeling well that that this might be a spot where he would go. And a strike, and that makes it 0-2. This will be pitch number 41 for Vogelsong.
That's a cutter in on the hands of Pagan. Oh, now they're going to try and backdoor him with a cutter.
And that's rolled on the ground. Foul. We'll do it again.
Foul ball, says Marty Foster, first base umpire.
Belt is on deck. It's 0-2 to Pagan. Span does not go, and this is rolled up the middle. And the flip to second is just in time, and that'll end the inning. No runs, an opportunity, but Brown thrown out at home. It remains 1-0. Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. So Ryan Vogelsong.
Pittsburgh, batting ninth, the pitcher, number
Coming
14, Ryan Vogelsong.
Will forever wear the protective piece on his helmet. She believes in Vogie.
You see his career numbers. This year he's 0 for 3. And a strike, and it's 0-1. When Ryan Vogelsong got called up, there were 2 young guys on this Giants team that turned out to have really fabulous careers. Joe Nathan and Vogelsong. They're same age. And they just went in different paths. So Vogelsong out on 3 pitches.
'12 World Series Game 3 against the Tigers in Detroit. And he was fantastic. 5 hits, no runs allowed. 5 2/3.
Yeah, you saw the 1 double play. It was huge. Here's Harrison, who takes down low. Nicole is here, sitting with friends. Let's see, is that Haley Bell?
That's Haley Bell on the left.
Well, Belt's going to hit leading off the 3rd, so that's when they won't be speaking. Chop to Crawford, and Crawford makes the play. And here's Mercer. Mercer hit a pop-up to left field. Mercer hit a home run in the 1st inning yesterday. A 3-run home run. The Pirates were taking on the Dodgers. First pitch is down low. It was his 8th of the year. Drives this one down the left field line. Fair, foul, foul.
Had Mad making a play down there.
Yeah.
Guy the gloves tick though. Just like, I brought my glove and I didn't get the ball.
Plus I got to hear about it from this guy for 8 more innings.
That's exactly what it's
wearing everybody out down there. Yeah, I could have played the minor league.
Yep, I
Hurt
played
my arm.
semi-pro.
Hurt my arm. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. That coach didn't like me.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to choose between girlfriend or ball.
Yep.
I think we've heard a few of those, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
This has popped up. Pagan or Span? Who's it going to be? Pagan, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, Bell, Crawford, Pence coming up.
MSN Bay Area is brought to you by Mr. Pickle's Sandwich Shop, where the summer blockbusters aren't just stellar, they're interstellar.
Giants with a 1-0 lead. And leading off will be Belt.
Challenge fastball, and very quickly ahead 0-1.
Crawford. Pence. Belt with a single in the first inning. And it's up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buster Posey, day to day. Bruce Bochy said, yeah, well, didn't want to play him today. We want to calm everything down, make sure that he's good to go. Belt hits one well into center field. On the move is McCutcheon. Still on the move, and he can't get it. And it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double.
Well, the 7th annual San Francisco Giant Race presented by Blueprint for Athletes is Sunday, September 11th. And you can finish your race on the field right here at AT Park. The race will include half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, kids race, or family relay distances. All participants get a Brandon Crawford runner bobblehead. So enter now at giantrace.com.
So here's Crawford. Crawford drives one to right. See if Belt tags. He is going to go. And here's the challenge. It's a good throw, and he made it.
Well, we were not exaggerating about the arm strength in the corners of the Pirates outfield. We saw from Marte, the left fielder, and here you get to see from Polanco. He knows he doesn't have to worry about a cutoff man. There's no back runner.
Well, Dave Fleming is on assignment. John Miller will be coming in 4th, 5th, and 6th. And we'll head over to the radio side. And I'll be back in the 7th.
Well, that's a good plan.
Infield in for Pence. And it's a strike on the outside corner.
He's not looking away. Got pitched in on a 1-pitch his last at bat. It's a chess match. Half guessing game, half instinct.
Breaking ball, chopped up the middle, and a base hit. And Belt scores, and Pence with an RBI single thanks to the drawn-in infield.
The importance of being able to have the speed to move up from second, third on a fly ball. So credit Brandon Belt.
I think Vogie gave his old friend a stink eye. As Pence was running to first.
Well, he's giving it to me and you. If you ask him a question the day that he pitches, stank eye.
I'm telling you, he did. So here's Panic. Panic drew a walk with the bases loaded. Pitch is wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Swinging a foul off the end of the bat.
Good changeup.
And it's down low. On deck is Eduardo Nunez. The Giants lead 2-0. Swinging a high fly ball center field. And McCutchen makes the catch. So Nunez, he's going to hit with 2 outs, and Pence at first base. Nunez bounced out to third. He's 0 for 1. And he looks at a strike.
Thought that was a bit low, perhaps.
It's a good spot right there. Love those seats. Foul down the right field line and out of play.
That's always one of the stopping points when you take your lap around the ballpark, which is one of the cool things about the design of AT Park. And people get right there by the foul line, look right down the line. And you can get a good look.
Swinging a little flare to right, and it is going to fall. And it kicks away from Pence, and now Pence is going to have to put on the brakes, and now he's caught in a rundown, and the throw is in time, and they got him. So that's going to end the inning, as Pence is thrown out. John Miller will be back. I'll see you back here in the 7th.
Telecast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
2-0 Giants. We're going to the top of the 4th inning. Now joining us in the booth is my pal John Miller. John, welcome.
Thank you. And for the Giants, they've had 9 base runners in the first 3 innings, but only the 2 runs. And the Pirates, with a strong play by Marte, throwing out a runner trying to score. And then I don't know what was happening there at third between Pence and Kelly. A little miscommunication, I guess.
Well, Roberto Kelly wanted him to go. And halfway down the line, all of a sudden Hunter Pence dropped anchor, tried to get back, and it was too late. But Roberto had absolutely green lighted him on, and I think had he have continued, he would have scored. So the 0-2 pitch, a fastball up and away, and McCutchen goes down, swinging at a strikeout number 3.
So Moore looking strong. He's not allowed to hit as they post another strikeout out there. And the curveball is too high to David Freese. Moore in his first home start in his new baseball home here with the San Francisco Giants. His first start was in Philadelphia. Pitched well, and then his second start in Miami. That ball is a base hit. There's the first hit for Pittsburgh. David Freese with a single to left.
First time that Matt Moore got in the stretch, he was a little bit wild with the fastball. So now he'll enter the stretch for the second time tonight's game.
He issued a walk to Jung Ho Kang with 2 down in the second inning. Put him in the stretch, and then he immediately walked Cervelli right after that, even though he initially got ahead of him 0-2. And he got the low strike there to starting Marte. Too low, says Marte. The Giants, 2 runs and 6 hits in 3 innings against Vogelsong, who's also walked 3. And that's too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. And we've seen that. Vogie is the master of getting out of a jam.
Well, he's going to nibble, and he's going to stay on corners no matter what the count, what the situation, what the hitter is. He just is not going to come at you.
Got him to take a big rip at that curve in the dirt. A nice save by Trevor Brown.
Matt Moore is one of the few guys that I've seen in the big leagues that doesn't have a little slider or a cutter. The only breaking ball that he throws is that curveball. The other specialty pitch is a changeup he throws with a split grip.
High and foul off the right field line and well back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jeff Samardzija tomorrow night for the Giants. Jameson Taillon will go for the Pirates. The young phenom whom the Giants have not yet seen. And apparently he's really good. Just up for the minor leagues. In the day game on Wednesday, Matt Cain against the former Yankee Ivan Nova. Curveball kind of sat there, and Marte sprayed it foul. That got to the seats in a hurry.
Yeah, heads up. A wicked line drive, and this guy right here, I think he took the heat and he gave the ball off to a kid. So not only did he get a bruise, he got no baseball, but he did get the satisfaction of giving it to a kid.
That's a base hit to right field. Another curveball that just stayed up. And Freese made the turn at second base, and Pence came in throwing behind him. Freese got back.
Now you look at that swing right there from Marte, and I think he went up there looking for the curveball because he really stayed in. I think he was thinking right field. And all you're looking for is a little height, and he gets it right there below the belt. But what a beautiful swing to put on a curveball on the backside of the plate. No stride.
Marte having a very strong year. Came into this game hitting .316 this year. Now Jung Ho Kang, and the Pirates with a threat. 2 men on. The Giants leading 2-0. 1 out here in the 4th. And he starts him with that curveball. 0-1.
That's a good one right there. I throw a curveball up there in the first pitch, there's not a whole lot of guys are going to do much with that one. But you can throw that thing 0-2. That's a perfect curveball.
Just a little bit low. One ball, one strike to count. And there's that curve again. 1-2.
Yeah, it's got a good snap to it, but you can see how much more tilt it's got when you get that thing down. The one that was hit by Marte, once it got up, it had some hang, had some roll here, down below the knees. That's good snappage.
Giants have done well against the Pirates at bats like this so far this year. That curveball was up. Base hit. And Freese is going to be stopped at third by Sofield, the third base coach. And now the bases are loaded. Three straight hits. The bases are loaded as Brown is out to talk to more about it. Francisco Cervelli coming up.
So the curveball this inning has been very, very good, but when he's got it up, it's been hit. It's an impressive at bat from Gong.
How tough is it if you're throwing a lot of curveballs? Is it likely you're going to throw them all great, or is it likely you're not?
It's more likely you're not.
In the dirt. Saved by Trevor Brown.
Big curveball that he's got. It's a bit of a temperamental pitch. I mean, it's really a nice pitch to be able to throw it, especially when you're ahead the count. But when you throw that pitch, you say to yourself, I want to throw it and I want to miss down below the strike zone. I don't want it to be in the strike zone. The only exception is if you're throwing it on a first pitch, or of course you have to throw it in and get it in count, which guys don't do normally with that big curveball.
2-0. Now he walked Cervelli the first time after getting ahead of him 0-2.
It's a big pitch now, 2-0.
Polanco, the only left-handed hitter in the Pirates batting order for this game, is on deck. Infield double play depth. 3-0. Freese hit a one-out single. He's at third. Marte, who singled at second, and Gong, who singled over at first base. And a 3-ball, no strike count to Francisco Cervelli, who gets a lot of walks. And he gets one here. And with the bases loaded, he never threw him a strike. So Freese is forced home, and it's 2-1 Giants. That's the Pirates' first run of the game, and they got it the same way the Giants got theirs, on a bases loaded walk.
Well, David Getty going to come out and try and calm the waters. The guy walks somebody, especially on 4 pitches. I mean, he's frustrated. You may think corner early in the first couple pitches, guy doesn't take him, and all of a sudden you're down 2-0. Now it's a get it in count. That's certainly 3-0 is with the bases loaded. And when you miss as badly as he did, that's when it's time to go out and talk to him if you're David Getty.
Mike Malinsky, the plate umpire, out to move them along. And Getty will head back to the dugout.
Yeah, the problem with walks too is they pump up the pitch count. The end of the 4th inning, you want to be at 60 pitches, so you get an idea of how far over he is. With just 1 out at 62.
See Polanco against the National League West. 24 runs batted in 28 games. Jay Bruce now with the Mets, and Yelich of Miami, the only two ahead of him in the league. That's a foul. And it's 0-1. So Polanco's not of the school of he's been wild, make him throw a strike first.
No. But you know, that's kind of been the Pirate philosophy forever. See ball, hit ball, run like crazy.
Pirates, who years ago they hit the ball so well, their nickname was the Lumber Company.
Lumber and lightning.
Polanco, the leading RBI man in this team. A little bloop, base hit. The tying run scores. Here is Gong. And as the throw went to third base, safe there is Cervelli, and into second goes Polanco on the throw. And the Pirates have a 3-2 lead.
Another breaking ball right off the end of the bat. And, you know, you talked about the stats that Polanco had against the National League West. When you hit a ball like that, you wind up with 2 RBIs, you know you've got ownage. But to have it against the whole division, that's pretty special.
Five straight Pirates have reached base. 3 have scored. Runners at second and third. The infield is in. Vogelsong fouls one out of play. Three to 2 Pittsburgh. 1-1. Vogie struck out his first time. Cervelli, not a particularly fast runner. He's the catcher over at third base. Polanco at second is a fast runner. So he's falling behind Vogelsong now.
Well, and Vogelsong could put the bat on the ball. I mean, most of his hits were early in his career. Gardner starting to head down to the bullpen. That usually means the Giants are going to get somebody going.
Got the fastball up, and he had a pretty good whack at it.
He was on it. You see George Contos heading down to the Giants pen.
Two and two the count now.
All right, heads up, get your glove on. You got to be ready. Here it comes. Look out.
That's my brand new TV.
Yep. Yep.
Two down.
So a big strikeout. When you're struggling a little bit, it's the one advantage that you have as a National League pitcher opposed to an American League pitcher is you don't get that pitcher hit in an inning when you're leaking oil. I mean, that could be an island of safety, and he just took advantage of it.
Josh Harrison now. Harrison has grounded out to third and grounded out to short. The infield back normal depth now with 2 down. Runners at second and third. 0-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there.
He was trying to yank too.
Giants got a run on the first on a bases loaded walk to Panic, and another run on the third. Hunter Pence RBI single. Now the Pirates with 3 runs home here in the fourth. 1-1.
Harrison, not a big guy, 5'8", small strike zone.
One ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, that's an uppercut. That's a swing right there. The guy's trying to lift.
He's got 4 home runs, 388 at bats.
Trying to pad the stats. He's feeling it.
And he went up, way upstairs. Pence a long run, Belt a long run. Pence falls over and caught it.
Oh my.
And hopefully he's okay. Seems to be. That just can't be possible. He fell over, he was flat on his back and caught it. Oh yeah.
Just another day at the yard.
Former Giant fan favorite here tonight as a Pittsburgh Pirate. How did he feel about returning to San Francisco? It's our Geico quote this evening. Ryan said, when I go onto the field, it's all business. It's not going to be weird at all. It's going to be a baseball game that I'm trying to pitch really well in and help us win. There you have it. All business, guys.
Well, it's kind of the professional motto. And once the game starts, it's a ball game, and you have to do your best to earn your paycheck.
Well, the fans did something that I don't know that anybody's been able to do against Vogelsong, at least when he was a Giant. He left his game face for just a moment as they gave him a spontaneous cheer as he took the field to take his warm-ups before the last of the first inning. They just stood and gave him an ovation, and he looked at the ground for a long while like he just didn't want to get out of whatever it was that he was in, and then finally he looked up at him and acknowledged him with a wave of the hand. Trevor Brown, that kicks foul halfway to third, strike one.
That is a moment that he will never ever forget.
Hunter Pence looks to be okay. Got up and ran off the field.
Oh, watch it come over. He slips on the grass, then his feet hit the mound, his legs give way, but his concentration never stopped to the ball. I mean, his eyes never came off the ball despite all that was going down around his legs. And that's just such a remarkable display of concentration. Great play.
1-1 now to Trevor Brown, who walked his first time. Hunter Pence. Just when you think you've seen it all. Flat on his back, and he caught it. 1-2 now to Brown.
One more look, and look at his lower body, but the head stays so completely still. You know, he didn't peer at the glove either. Hit him low right in the base of the glove.
Nice soft hands. Ends up making the play. It's a remarkable play.
And those fans, they were right there. They had a front row seat for one of the great plays you'll ever see.
Well, with a lot on the line, it was a chance to get out of the inning, minimize the damage. And he gets Matt Moore off the hill. And Matt Moore owes him.
Pulled foul. 2-2.
I mean, it really does bear one more look at it. I mean, his back was completely flat on the ground. Well, and now you get to go back to the dugout and talk about it. Impressive.
Popped up. Freeze. And there's one away. Well, Brian Vogelsong, remember the Giants, he was a major part of a trade where the Giants got a guy who ended up being their ace for many years, Jason Schmidt. Vogelsong went to Pittsburgh in that deal. And Vogie back with the Pirates here. And he's had a win, one win. And he was 11 years between wins for the Pirates, equaling Burley Grimes from the old days. Burley Grimes, who was one of the last. In fact, I think he was grandfathered in. He was the last of the Spitballers.
Last of the Spitballers.
Right to the shortstop. Bobbled. But Moore was just trotting up the first base line, so he is out. 2 down. And we go to the top of the order for Denard Span. 3-2. The Pirates are leading the Giants here in the 4th inning. Burley Grimes was with some Pirates teams from the dead ball era and then into the Babe Ruth era. In fact, he was 1928 when he got his first win in 11 years for the Pirates. And that was the year after they'd been swept by the Murderers Row Yankees in the World Series. The Ruth and Gehrig Yankees.
It's a great baseball name, too. Burley Grimes.
Burley.
Together since 2016. Well, of course.
A little bit high from Vogelsong. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Giants got 6 hits in the first 3 innings. Vogie walked 3. And now they're trailing. And Vogie's got a chance for a 1-2-3 innings. But that's a base hit. Second straight hit for Span.
Well, and that's really an example of take what Vogelsong gives you. You're going to throw you on the outside corner. It's going to be on the corner. It's going to have movement running away from you. Don't try and pull it. Try and pull it. You roll over. It's a ground ball to second baseman. 2-seam fastball. And he just shoots it right through the 5.5 hole. And that's the key when you're trying to hit against a guy who has the type of command that Vogelsong has.
Pagan has doubled and hit into a force out. Well, like the situation in the second inning with Span at first and 2 down, you keep thinking, well, this is a base stealing situation. But Span did not attempt to steal in that situation. There's a called strike. So I'm going to figure, well, he's not going to try it here now either. Giants have 7 hits now against Vogelsong. Pagan scored the first run after his first inning double. He eventually scored on a bases loaded walk to Panic. And that curve is in the dirt on the inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he really has just been a clinic in how to keep your hands back in an at-bat. And we're talking from both sides of the plate. Just had a good solid season. Great second half.
Hitting .291 for the year. One and two now. Ryan Vogelsong, when he got traded to the Pirates, and things did not go well for him in Pittsburgh. He got hurt in his second start as a Pirate, and had numerous injury problems. Eventually put into the bullpen. Cervelli leaning around behind Pagan, looked at first but did not throw. Span at first with 2 down. Then he was just trying to get back into big league ball. In 2010, I asked him if he saw the Giants win the World Series in 2010. He said, yeah, he was pitching in Venezuela, and he was actually a starting pitcher that night, and when his team was at bat, he went into the clubhouse and watched the game. There goes the runner. Gong has it and throws out Pagan. Well, the hit and run was on, and the shortstop Mercer went over to cover. Wait a minute. What happened here? Was it the catcher's interference on Pagan's swing?
I think it was.
So the inning is not over. Catcher's interference, apparently the call. Let's see, it hit the glove here.
Absolutely. Catcher's interference, E2. And more importantly, gets Brandon Bell, who's 2 for 2 up with 2 runners on him. And a chance to ruin Ryan Vogelsong's chance for a shutdown inning.
Bell has swung the bat well tonight. He singled to right in the first inning, helped set up the first run, and then doubled over the head of McCutchen in center field and scored a run himself in the third. Look out.
Yeah, we showed Ryan Vogelsong's wife Nicole sitting next to Haley Belt, Brandon Belt's wife, in the stands. Can't imagine there's a lot of conversation going on right now.
And the changeup off the outside. 2-0 to Belt.
So, which leads you to wonder what would have been said had that first pitch of hit Brandon Belt.
And it almost did. But he chased a bad one on 2-0. Another changeup from Vogelsong. The Giants strand 2, and we move on to the 5th inning. Mercer, then Andrew McCutchen coming up. 3-2 Pittsburgh. is celebrating Mike Kruko's 20-win season by sponsoring the commemorative bobblehead giveaway at the ballpark here on Sunday, August 28th. Our McDonald's True Stories goes back 30 years ago today when Mike picked up his 12th win of that 1986 season, the 5-1 complete game victory over the Dodgers in front of 36,436 at the stick. Jose Uribe had a 2-run double, and Will Clark hit 2 home runs as Mike Kruko got his 7th complete game of the year. And you beat the Dodgers a few times that year, did you not?
4 times,
including for win number 20.
Yeah, they were good to me.
Jordy Mercer against Matt Moore. The count 1 ball 1 strike. Mercer has flied out to shallow left and to shallow left center. 0 for 2. 3-2. The Pirates are leading. And it curves him. Strike 2.
It's nice when you get a team to play along with the script. You know, it doesn't always happen that way, but when it does, you're very grateful. Thank you. Please drive home safely.
And that's up and away, 2-2. Now, the Dodgers had Fernando Valenzuela. They had Orel Hershiser. So if you're going to write the script to get your 20th win against the Dodgers, you'd want to be against one of those 2 guys. Here's Crawford. 1 away. Mercer is out. And Andrew McCutchen will come up. So you didn't get a chance to beat Fernando for number 20. But you did get a chance to beat Orel Hershiser for number 20. Pretty good.
It was a good game. It was a close game till late. And Kenny Maldonado hit a grand slam opposite field to right field. Kind of put the game away. Exciting day.
Got the low strike on that curveball. 0-1. McCutchen has popped up to second and struck out. Well, the Giants were in the pennant race most of that year. And your 20-win season. How many complete games did you finish with?
10. And if I tell that to Gaylord Perry, I'd be embarrassed to say it. He had back-to-back years where he had 29 complete games. Back-to-back. One year he had 41 starts. The next year he had 40. And he came in relief one time. That's back when men were men. He and Juan Marichal both going into the 300 innings that season. Those seasons.
Wow, that ball is just scalded but foul. Right off the bullpen mound into the crowd. 2-2.
That's back when those guys used to play in a 4-man rotation. I pitched in a 4-man rotation my rookie year, the only time. It's different. You don't have as much stuff. You're not as strong between starts, but you definitely have a good feel of baseball.
Well, you came up right in that period where it was starting to go away, the 4-man rotation. All right, he's on his backside. Can he get it there? Yes!
We have seen some kind of plays tonight, and we've kind of grown to expect it from Eduardo Nunez. We saw him from the knee yesterday here take a seat right in the middle of the infield, and that is all arm. I mean, I think that's a bit redundant to even say that. Not a problem. One hopper. McCutchen, he can run.
Wasn't even that close.
No, it wasn't.
David Freese. Well, we had Pence flat on his back, making the catch to end the 4th inning in foul ground after stumbling on the bullpen mound. And now, from a sitting position, Nunez throws out Andrew McCutchen for an out. These are highly trained professionals. Do not try this at home.
No, don't.
Try to be in a standing position when you're catching the ball or throwing the ball. 2-1.
There's some anger on that fastball right there. Matt Moore thought he had the second strike with the changeup. He couldn't throw in a better spot. But that's really an example of one pitch affecting the next. You get angry, you overthrow a fastball, miss high.
Fouled out of play. Well, looking at the pitch FX on the MLB at bat app, it wasn't even close. It was virtually right down the middle and well above the knees. So a very, not just a miss, but a very blatant bad miss by Mike Walensky, and that happens. 3-2.
I think that's one of the strengths of Madison Bumgarner. I mean, he's got really a great ability to wipe the slate clean. He can get really ticked off on a pitch, but by the time he makes the next pitch, it's forgotten. He's putting 100% into that next pitch.
He's got this one from his knee. And yes, again. Unlikely, but yes, he did it again.
Well, for a guy with a great arm, all he has to do is find a balance point, whether it be on his knee, on his feet, sitting down, it doesn't matter. And he knows if you're going to miss low, give that first baseman a chance, and that's exactly what he does. Wow. The CSN Bay Area is brought to you by the California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways, reminding you that life jackets save lives. Strap it on.
Giants down by a run as Brandon Crawford leads off in the last of the fifth against Ryan Vogelsong. He has walked and flied out to right against Vogie. And a high pop-up. And Freeze, one away. NBC Bay Area investigates to hold the powerful accountable, and now it's expanding its resources to help solve your consumer problems. Introducing NBC Bay Area Responds, a new team dedicated to investigating your consumer complaints and returning your money. Contact 1-888-996-TIPS or visit NBCBayArea.com/responds. Every call, every email will be answered. NBC Bay Area, we investigate. Hunter Pence, been a very eventful night for him. He's knocked in a run. He made a catch while flat on his back. A broken bat. Gun. And there's one away, or out number two, I beg your pardon. Two very quick outs.
Now here's that play you're talking about, John. Remember that, this is 2 outs, 2 on. And that was going to be foul, but Matt Moore was leaking oil. He needed to get off the field, and this play enabled him to do that. And the Pirates could score no more. Just a remarkable display of concentration and watching it into your glove. And Buster Posey loving it.
Joe Panik has drawn a bases loaded walk and flied out to center. Takes a called strike. The Giants had their chances to do more than the 2 runs in the first 3 innings. And now they are trailing 3-2. Vogelsong gets a little bloop. Mercer in front of Marte. And that's Vogelsong's first 3 up and 3 down inning. On to the 6th. 3-2 Pittsburgh.
For a 4-game series. That's right. This weekend. Join us Friday the 19th, and we're going to celebrate Tony Bennett's 90th birthday right in here at the ballpark. It's Sunday the 21st. It's 5:05 start. First 25,000 fans will receive a reusable grocery tote presented by the MLB Network. So go to sfgiants.com/tickets and check it out.
Starling Marte is flied out deep to center. And his last time up there, he singled. Part of that 3-run 4th inning rally. Way up in the air to center. Span just waiting for it. 1 away. Marte's gone on 1 pitch. And Moore could use a quick inning. He had thrown 89 pitches through 5 innings. He had a very long 4th inning. And a long 2nd inning as well. Jung Ho Kang, who has walked and singled. One and one.
Changeup. That's when it's most effective in a 1-0 count. For the most part, he throws 4-seam fastballs. Now he's got the 2-seamer, but he doesn't throw it nearly as often as he throws the 4-seam fastball. So 4 different types of movement: changeup, 2 types of fastball, and the curveball.
2-2 to Kang with Cervelli on deck. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Pirates. They bunched up all of their hits in the same inning. The Giants 2 runs, 7 hits. That was close.
A wee bit low. Changeup.
For the strikeout.
And a good one. So we asked him the day we met him. What do you throw? Fastball, curveball, changeup. Will you throw a 3-2? He goes, oh yeah, not a problem. Well, he just proved it for strikeout number 5. And really, if you can't throw a pitch 3-2 with the bases loaded, then it really isn't a pitch for you.
Cervelli, the catcher, has been up twice and walked both times. Once with the bases loaded. That was the first Pirates run. The bases loaded walk to Cervelli in the 4th inning. 2 down, nobody on. A ball and a strike. His first 2 pitches to Cervelli were strikes. Back in the 2nd inning, he was ahead of 0-2 and then threw 4 straight wide ones. And then walked him on 4 pitches in a row with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. And that one is a solid single to right center.
The guys who've had the best swings against Matt Moore have been the guys who've been thinking right field.
Here's Polanco, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup for Pittsburgh. But he got the big hit on a low curveball that knocked in 2 runs to put them ahead in the 4th inning. And they still lead by that same score, 3-2 here in the 6th. That ball is smoked way back there. 5-2 Pittsburgh. The one and only left-handed hitter has planted one in San Francisco Bay. And Polanco's knocked in 4 of the 5 Pirate runs. And he is their RBI leader. And he's now knocked in 28 of his 65 RBIs this year against the National League West.
With a pitcher on deck, I mean, they would have pinch hit for him, though, but you just cannot miss in an area where he could drive. And that is right there, middle in, right above the knee. And for Polanco, he's looking for a mistake, and he got it. A 1-hopper right into the cove. And that hurt.
So Vogelsong and the Pirates with a 5-2 lead now. Giants bullpen getting ready. That ball is hit well, but right to Pence. But with 2 down, nobody on, Cervelli singled, Polanco homered. 5-2 Pirates.
CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. Hurry in for Toyota's annual clearance event to get an incredible deal on the 2016 Toyota U1 before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, celebrating 70 years as your neighborhood paint store. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Pittsburgh Pirates lead 5-2 as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Welcome back to our broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. The Giants made an announcement today. They have a new International Player Academy in the Dominican Republic. They're naming it, gentlemen, after former Giants player, manager Felipe Alou for his distinguished career that spans 7 decades in Major League Baseball. The Giants were the first Major League team to scout and sign players from the DR, and Felipe Alou inspired generations of Latin players and beyond who followed his baseball journey. The Felipe Alou Academy, gentlemen, will be used by many and loved by all.
Thanks, Amy G. And the Giants Academy. And I guess it's what, a week from tomorrow, next Tuesday, they'll have the ceremonies. They made the announcement today.
I mean, the Dominican, baseball season starts the 1st of January and it ends the last day of December. And they play it nonstop. You get down to winter ball and you see some things that open your eyes up as to where baseball is being played. You're getting off the freeway. You know how you get off and you kind of circle around. Then there's a little patch of ground there in the circle. You're getting out the freeway. First time I get out of the airport in Puerto Rico, we go by this little patch of ground, and there's a game going on. I mean, there's 9 guys on each team. I mean, there's no fence. It's just the street, the freeway.
That ball is smoked deep into left field. On its way. Adios! Pelota! Eduardo Nunez with a long one.
His first home run as a Giant.
Number 13 overall for Nunez. And he hit a few during batting practice. That got the attention of Bruce Bochy, because he had not been hitting many even in BP.
They made a correction in his swing. They thought they really had found something, and he comes into tonight's ball game and has a 2-hit night, his first home run with Giants uniform on.
Trevor Brown, and Bogey got the strike on that one.
Take a look at the flight of the ball from the splash can. That's way up in the bleachers.
.104 miles an hour off the bat, according to the StatCast of the MLB At Bat app. And they said 397 is their estimate. Another curveball, and it's 1-2 to Brown, who has walked and popped down. Gregor Blanco has come out on deck, not Matt Moore. Wow. After all those curveballs, he made it look bad with a fastball right on the hands.
First strikeout of the night for Vogelsong. And he really bunched up the elbows of Trevor Brown.
Five to 3 Pirates. And the changeup is low. Ball 1. In the Giants bullpen, getting ready for the 7th inning, is George Katos. Pirates bullpen is going now.
The line for Matt Moore: 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. I mean, he's going to be disappointed about it. Really, it was the one pitch, and that was the 2-out home run hit by Polanco in the top of the 6th that he's going to think about the most, and that is the difference in this game.
McCutchen, plenty of room out there. 2 down. This Thursday, the Mets come in, and that will be our annual Jerry Garcia tribute night here at the ballpark. There's a special event ticket including a Jerry Garcia Giants hat, and of course the ticket to see the Giants take on the Mets. sfgiants.com/special events. Check it out for more info.
George Contos will pitch the top of the 7th.
Right field. Polanco looking up and goodbye. Denard Span with a soaring home run. And now it's a 1-run game. The 2nd home run of the inning. Third hit of the night for Span.
And that's going to be it for Vogelsong.
Bastardo, the left-hander, throwing in the bullpen, and Clint Hurdle is going to make the change.
2-seam fastball just right over the middle of the plate at the belt. And with that swing of the bat, Span, his 3rd hit of the night, his 6th home run of the year.
Vogelsong retires, and another standing ovation from the Giants fans. Thanks for the memories, Vogie. The Giants here in the last of the 6th inning. New pitcher for the Pirates. The pitching change brings Bastardo into the game when it's time for a change. Think speedy. Oil change and auto service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
49th time that Bastardo has come in. 49 strikeouts in 48 the 3rd innings. And you're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball, more lows than mids. And then the Bastardo slider he's got. It's a good one. And a changeup. 3-pitch guy.
He'll face the switch hitter, Angel Pagan. Called a strike. Pagan hit a double in the 1st and scored a run, hit into a force play in the 2nd. And then he reached on the catcher's interference in the 4th. No time at bat charge to Pagan, so officially he's still 1 for 2. Although an error was charged to the catcher, Cervelli, whose bat he struck. Did he swing? Yes. Says Marty Foster on the appeal. Two down, bases empty, 2 strikes to count to Pagan. And a foul out of play as he fought that one off.
Expand and protect. You're in an 0-2 count. Can't be taking corner pitches. You got to get out and protect.
A ball and 2 strikes now. Where do we see Bastardo earlier this year?
Well, he was with Philadelphia for a long time.
Pirates, of course, traded away their closer, Mark Melanson, to Washington. And a high pop-up. Freeze gives way to Harrison. Giants are down by a run as we head to the 7th inning. Dwayne Kuiper will be back for the 7th inning. The Giants go bye-bye baby twice. Nunez, then Span. 5-4.
Time now for our Toyota game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Through 6 innings of play, the Pirates 5 runs on 6 hits, and Air Giants 4 runs on 9 hits. And Ryan Vogelsong has a chance to be the winning pitcher in this ball game. Giants going to try and ruin his night, but he was very, very good. Denard Span 3 for 4 with a solo home run. And Angel Pagan a double and continues his 13-game hitting streak. So 5-4. It is the Giants need to do some homework. We have George Contos on the hill. When it's time for chasing speedy oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. George coming into his 44th game. He's 3-2 with a 2.11 ERA. So 5-4 Pirates. Once again, here's Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, and the 0-1 to Harrison, and he's going to lead off the inning with a base hit. And he can run. So what's he going to do? He's going to put on the brakes. And just like that, the Pirates are in business. And here's Mercer. It really amazes me at the difference in what the Giants saw the last 3 games compared to this lineup. It's like they just put pressure on you, that's all.
Sergio Romo heading down the Giants bullpen. Well, different philosophies, no doubt. One thing that I was very impressed with tonight with the Pirates is their approach against Matt Moore. I mean, a lot of the right-handed hitters were up there and they weren't thinking about anything other than right field. And it showed. They had a plan.
Mercer waits on Cantos. And a strike. 2 pop-ups to left and a ground ball to short for Jordy Mercer. So the Giants have come back in this one. A couple of solo home runs. That offsets Polanco's 2-run home run in the 6th. Harrison, you can tell he's thinking about going. He's got 15 on the year.
Well, that's another big difference in the Pirates and the Orioles, who just left San Francisco. Orioles had 14 stolen bases. Pirates have 88. They look to steal. They move.
Very close.
See the quick tag. Not in time. Brandon Bell, if he gets a guy, I mean, he'll let you know. And rarely is he wrong, if ever, when he calls for a replay.
Harrison goes, and a base hit to right. So the Pirates will have runners at the corners. And the hitter is going to be McCutchen. And that's it. So Cantos gives up singles to Harrison and Mercer, and he's going to depart. And Romo's coming in, and what they're looking for is they're looking for a strikeout. We'll be back. Easier than ever to catch more Giants baseball in your area by tuning into NBC Bay Area on Channel 11 or over the air or on Xfinity Cable 3 and 703. Check it out and spread it around. So here's Romo. Romo will be facing McCutchen in a strikeout situation, and you see the numbers for Romo. McCutchen is 0 for 3. With Harrison at third and Mercer at first. And a slider for a strike, and it's 0-1.
And that's always the one he seems to be most vulnerable, because he wants to get strike one. That's the one where he will bite off a big chunk of the strike zone. And once he does that, now he'll start shaving that outside corner. Or since his guys are diving out there, he'll come on that inside corner, but it allows him to go to either side of the plate that he wants to now that he's ahead in the count.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. So Romo ahead of McCutchen. And the pitch down low. McCutchen takes this one. Giants trailed by a run. They're trying to keep it right there. Took that one again, 2-2.
Well, good teaser. You got count leverage in a 1-2 count. And really, he's got a base to play with. Guy on deck, David Freese, is 0 for 6 lifetime with 4 strikeouts against Romo. Romo does not want to make a mistake over the middle here. McCutchen, 3 for 10 lifetime.
And a soft toss to first. Back is Mercer.
That throw to first base was for one reason, to just make McCutchen think.
Infield in. And this little pop-up is going to have a hard time being caught, and it falls. And everybody moves up a base, and it's 6-4. And when you play the infield in, that can be a problem. Not what you can do about that. If you're Sergio Romo, you did your job.
Well, just an unfortunate swing of the bat. But the point you make is absolutely was the difference in this play. Crawford, who goes back as well as any middle infielder in the National League, just can't back. There wasn't enough pop-up to get back on.
So here's Freese. And Freese takes a strike. That's down and in. Freese singled in the fourth. The one thing the Pirates have been able to do in this game is when they got one hit, they've piled on after that. They've had innings where they didn't get any hits, but then in the fourth, they had 4 hits. In the 6th, a hit and then a home run. In this inning, 3 hits in a row. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Right now, it's very important that you just limit the damage. Freese got him.
And he got him on a sinker. 2 swing throughs for fastballs on the 2-seam grip. He swings right over the top of. So now 0 for 7 lifetime with 5 strikeouts. And look at the movement.
Starling Marte with a single in the 4th. Tight, 1 ball and no strikes.
Romo wants it in the ball.
Here's the 1-0. Swinging a shot fair down the left field line. Digging it out will be Pagan, and now a fan grabbed it.
Well, you might as well just keep it. Dad will wait for you. Or he'll wait for them. It's unfortunate. I mean, but they're all told before the game, if you interfere, you have to go, and he knows the deal. I feel bad for the guy. Right past Nunez, and it hops right up. And right there is when he made a mistake. Oh, is that fair? And he knows it. That's too bad. So what Clint Hurdle is saying is, you know what? Why are you not letting that other run score? He's going to make the argument.
It's a fair argument.
And it is a fair argument. And he might win the argument.
I mean, it's a fair argument only because it's in the home team's ballpark, and the home team fans really kept their guy from scoring. Now they're going to take a look at maybe where to place the runners.
I mean, it's not a ground rule double. It is the discretion of the umpire as to what the ground, or what the hit should be. I mean, technically they could make it a triple, which is unlikely, but the one matter in hand is whether or not that second run's going to score. So Mike Winters on your right, crew chief, talking to the umpires back in New York.
And this replay review is presented by Xfinity.
Take a look at where the runners were. Now the lead runner at third base, he's going to score. The debate right now is the runner who's now at second base. Would he have had a chance to score? You can see Marte over at first base. So, and I think that he is going to be kept at third. I would be surprised if they did score. But the fact is, we'll never know if the ball would have been allowed to be uninterfered with.
So they're going to keep the runners where they're at.
And that's probably the right call. But bottom line is, just don't interfere with the ball.
So this is what the Pirates do. They come up with base hits in the same inning. And now it's Jung-Ho Gong at the plate with the infield in, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. A shutdown inning just didn't happen for the Giants here in the 7th. It's 7-4 Pittsburgh. And Romo tries to come back in tight again. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Francisco Cervelli, with Javi Lopez getting loose. It's low and in, 2-1.
Still a lot of sinkers tonight.
Yeah.
Usually you watch Romo come in, and throughout his career, I mean, you're going to see a lot of sliders, but that sinker has become a good weapon, that two-seam fastball, and he's using it now to right-hander, something that he hadn't done before.
And the breaking ball for a called strike.
By way of the inside corner.
2-2. Nope. 3-2.
Just a bit inside. I don't think they're intended to go in that inside corner. Trevor Brown set that target away.
Here's the payoff. Got him.
Take a look at classic Romo with a perfect slider, just teasing you on the outside corner, then fall out of the zone and get you to chase.
Here's Cervelli. Cervelli's been on base 3 times. He had a 2-out single in the 6th, and then Polanco hit one out of the park. First pitch is low. Ten hits for the Pirates, 9 hits for the Giants. Really the difference, the Giants have spread their hits around, the Pirates have bunched theirs. Inside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, the 2-seam fastball, taking advantage of it. If you've been in this league for the last 6-7 years and you've had at bats against Romo, you're not thinking middle in if you're a right-handed hitter. You're just not.
He's got the guts of a burglar, doesn't he?
He really does. It really reminds you of Rod Beck in that sense. I mean, at times goes out there with more guts and stuff.
Got him. Well, Romo really comes in and does a nice job. It's 7-4 Pirates. It's a 7-4 lead. For the Pirates, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Felipe Rivero, the new pitcher now for Pittsburgh. You may remember him as a member of the Washington Nationals. Came over in the deal that sent the closer for the Pirates to the Nationals, Mark Melanson. And this is what he has done. 0-4 with a ERA of 3.97. Impressive stuff, though. I mean, that's the thing that the Pirates really liked about Rivero. 66 strikeouts in 56 2/3 innings and only 19 walks. He's got an idea. You're going to see mid to high 90s with the fastball. He's got a slider and a changeup. He throws hard.
And here's Belt. And Bastardo to Belt. And Belt lines one to left, and that's a base hit. So Belt doesn't waste any time. That's his third hit. And that's a good sign, because he can get high.
So Felipe Rivero trying to get ahead with a strike, and Brandon Belt saying, And he went the opposite way, which he may have been thinking left field when he stepped out in that batter's box.
Crawford may very well do the same. The bullpen is quiet for the Pirates.
Huge gap in left center.
And tight, 1 ball and no strikes. It's kind of an easy 96.
Yeah, it's lazy arm delivery.
Outside to Crawford, 2 balls and no strikes. And a step off throw by Bastardo. One-way conversation from Cervelli to Bastardo.
Matt Cain practicing the 4-seam fastball grip.
So Crawford ahead in the count, 2-0. Giants trail by 3. And the pitch. High, 3-0. Well, maybe Crawford has a green light, but the Giants need another base runner or 2.
Well, 1 more ball, and they're going to get the time run in the batter's box.
Yep.
And there's nobody down there in that Pirates bullpen.
I know.
This is Rivero's inning.
Very lonely. And a strike. Three-1 to Crawford. Bastardo's got to come in, and he doesn't.
Easy take. High time for our Togo's big play. The Togo's way, and Hunter Pence in the 4th inning came up with a tremendous play. An absolute gem. His legs cut out from underneath him by the mound. He slips, but yet through it all, he still manages to maintain his concentration to the ball, and he makes the play and ends the inning. And Buster Posey was loving it.
I think our marketing department's thrilled. They got something for next year now.
It's the bobble knees. So Pirates get somebody up in their bullpen right now, and Ray Sears is going to go out there and just take a little time and allow him to get a chance to get loose. So it's going to be Neftali Feliz, the right-hander.
Yeah, I believe I've been calling it Bastardo. It's Rivero. See what happens when you go take a pee? They throw somebody in there that looks just like the last guy, for crying out loud.
So Ray Sears has got it all to take care of. And so do we. We know that Rivero is out there on the hill now.
Well, here's Pence. Swing and a miss. Pence so anxious to try to tie this game up. Falls behind, no balls and 1 strike. And tight. Belt at second. Crawford at first. Belt opened up the inning with a base hit and then a walk. On deck is Panic. A 1-2.
Couple of changeups. Get in that batter's box. A guy that could throw 99. You're not thinking changeup.
No, not at all.
Do it again.
There's Panic. And this is going to squirt around, and Belt did not get a good read on it, so he doesn't go. You got to. I know the fans are moaning and groaning, but you got to think about what the score is too.
Well, you're down by 3 and you can't take a chance. If you're down by 1 or it's tie or you have a lead, you're gone. But you have to absolutely be sure.
Three and 2. Got him.
Another changeup. And quite honestly, it was absolutely perfect.
So here's Panic.
Changeup outside corner at the knees. So a big strikeout for the Pirates.
Panic is 0 for 2. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Rivero, 3 good pitches. You can see why the Pirates wanted him. And I have to believe that the Washington Nationals were a bit reluctant to give this kid up.
I would think so.
But the price was steep to get Mark Melancon in their bullpen.
0-2.
Will Smith not ready to make his debut.
In the dirt, and now both runners will move up.
The breaking ball in the dirt just kicks away. I mean, Cervelli does everything right. I mean, that was proper technique. Just got a little bit unlucky as that ball hit the side of his glove and kicked right. So 2 free gifts of 90 feet. They have 2 runners in scoring position now for Panic.
And he got him.
Well, Eduardo Nunez coming up to bat. We want to go back and take a look at the two plays he made. One sitting down from third base. A one-hopper throws out Andrew McCutchen. And wait, we're not done yet. A two-hopper, he wrestles down and from the knees. He makes a spectacular play to get David Freese. And those are our forward right choice.
So we got a double switch. Jaso's going to come in the game to play first. So we'll give you all the details when we come back. 7-4 Pirates. AT SFN is brought to you by the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Submerge yourself at montereybayaquarium.org/love. So here's Eduardo Nunez.
New pitcher now for the Pirates is going to be the right-hander Neftali Feliz. And he's got great stuff. You're going to see mid to high 90s with the velocity of the fastball. He's got a curveball, slider, changeup. 51 strikeouts in 45 innings.
And a big swing and a miss.
That was mano a mano right there.
Second and third. 2 outs. On a play, and it's 0-2.
97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball. Back in the 6th inning, Nunez stepped in against Vogelsong and hit a solo shot to lead the inning off. That was home run number 13, his first as a Giant. So far, he's got a 2-hit night.
On a play again. It stays at 0-2.
Big head turn for Feliz.
Freese is at third. Jaso is at first. So out of the game is gone. Belt and Crawford, the Brandons, are in scoring position. Very high, 1-2. One-two pitch. Way outside, 2-2. Nunez homered in his last at bat. And the pitch. Base hit, left center field. McCutcheon's going to dive. He makes the catch. McCutcheon with a headlong dive puts it away. For 1 second, it looked like it bounced. And it did not.
An amazing play. The defense we've seen tonight. Wow.
Tuesday, Giants and Pirates, pregame live at 6:30, and then we'll have the game for you at 7 right here on CSN Bay Area. The first 500 fans get a cheer card and an authentic Giants fan drawstring bag at 5 o'clock. That's when the giveaway starts. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Will Smith, the new pitcher now for the Giants. This is what he has done between the Brewers and the Giants in 33 games. 1-4 with a 4.74 ERA. But 27 strikeouts in 24 2/3. He's got a low 90s fastball, good curveball slider combination.
And he's facing Polanco, who has been tough tonight. He's got 4 RBIs, and here he takes a strike. A single, a knock in 2 in the 4th, and then a home run off of Matt Moore in the 6th.
And he had been stone cold coming into this series.
Yeah, you always worry about those stone cold guys.
Well, especially stone cold guys that are as good as this guy. Polanco, 17 home runs now. Quality player.
And a high strike, 1 and 2. And this is popped up. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Crawford, and Crawford will make the play.
Take a look at the heartbreak as to how this inning ended for the Giants in an absolute brilliant Gold Glove play from Andrew McCutcheon. It saved 2 runs, and Eduardo Nunez suffered that heartbreak. I couldn't believe it. It's the big leagues. It happens.
So here's Jaso. Down low.
John Jaso in Northern California. Graduate of McKinleyville High School. He's a Panther.
And a good fastball from Will Smith. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. With Josh Harrison on deck. And a little low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Jason, 32 years old, 7-year veteran at the big league level.
2-2.
Pitch. Jason came up with Tampa Bay, went to Seattle, was in Oakland a couple years, but back to Tampa Bay, and now a National Leaguer.
In tight, backs him off the plate. 3-2. And the walk. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, I spoke to several Giants before today's game about facing Ryan Vogelsong, and what Brandon Belt said was the funniest, so I'm going to share it. He said, it is going to be weird. I've only known Ryan as a Giant, but I know that he really, really, really wants to get me out, so I'm going to really, really, really try and find a way to not like him and get down to business. That's exactly what he's done tonight.
Yeah, you can not like him for a while and then like him again.
Yeah. I like him for about 3 hours.
Here's Harrison. And he takes in the dirt. One ball and no strikes with Jaso at first. And a soft toss to first. Mercer on deck. Struck out into left center field for Pagan. 2 outs. Yeah, Ryan Vogelsong departed when he was taken out. And he finally got a chance to tip his cap and acknowledge what these fans have meant to him and this organization.
Well, 2 really wonderful ovations when he took the mound for the Pirates, and of course when he walked off. I don't think that did not go unnoticed by his teammates.
And Mercer takes down low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, that was noticed all around baseball. And that's what you want to be if you're a player. You want to be remembered fondly.
And a strike down at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants have 6 more outs in this one, and Brown will lead things off in the bottom of this inning. And then a pinch hitter, and then the top of the order. A little low. 2 balls and a strike. Should Mercer reach, then it's McCutchen. It's high. It's 3-1. There's McCutchen. A great play he made to end the 7th. And the walk.
Well, some control problems for Will Smith, and Trevor Brown's going to go out there and have a talk at him. I mean, the last thing you want to do is walk and set it up for McCutchen, who's got 16 home runs, stepping in the batter's box. And once again, Mark Gardner going to head down to the bullpen.
Jake Peavy. So McCutchen. With a little bloop single in the 7th inning. At second is Jaso. He walked. At first is Mercer. He just walked. And another strike, so it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And that's hit high and foul. So it remains 0-2.
Kind of a loud foul ball. Designer strike. Get an 0-2 count, long strike like that, or a long foul ball like that feels good for the hitter. I don't think I'd go hard stuff in on him right now.
Nah, soft stuff away. And a flare to right. Pence is coming in, and he cannot grab it. Coming in to score is Jaso. The throw goes to third, and they got him at third, and the run scores. It's 8-4. So McCutchen picks up his second RBI of the game. And now we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Giants 4. So here's Brown. Brown facing Phillies, and he pops this one down the right field line. That'll be out of play.
We had a man making a play. Absolutely. Didn't spill a drop. We're good. High fives for you and you, and easy on the high fives.
And here's the pitch. Out of play again. It's 0-2.
Yeah. Grab some pine, Pete. The sprinkler. Rainbird.
High to Brown.
That's the tough one off of Feliz to lay off of. The 97 across the letters. Easy to see. Tough to keep the top hand on top of it.
Brown takes it. It's 2-2. Giants looking for a large inning. One where they hit for a while.
Well, that's the plan.
That is the plan. And that just missed. It's 3-2.
This is 98 mile an hour knee-high pain. Missed by about the width of a baseball. Yeah, for Trevor Brown, it's like, thank you.
And they're going to say he went around.
Yeah, I think he did. Let's take a look from the side. Did he go?
Nope.
No, he did not.
He didn't go. He didn't go.
Yeah, I got you. He's
out.
Yeah, that's it. Marty Foster over there at first base. I'm going to support my teammate.
Marty, good try, Marty, but we caught you.
Yeah.
Here's Gillespie. And Gillespie takes inside. Gillespie hitting at 259. Span to follow. Foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike. You been checking the Tampa Bay box scores?
I have.
Any particular guy?
Matt Duffy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he got a hit tonight. 1 for 4. He's been getting about a hit a day.
No swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, pretty soon it's going to be 2 hits a game.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Giants fans are going to miss him for a long time. So are the broadcasters.
2 balls and 1 strike to Gillespie. And there's a rocket to right. And right there is Polanco.
Span has had a great night. 3 for 4 with a home run. And this was the 6th inning. And this was Ryan Vogelsong's last pitch. Fastball, 2-seamer right over the plate at the belt. And Span, for the 6th time this year, takes the free trot around the bags.
So 3 hits for Span, 2 singles and the home run you just saw. And a pitch high. 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of pitches being thrown in this game. Consequently, we're past the 3-hour mark. 3 hours in 5 minutes. This pop-up could be playable for Freeze. And it is. And that'll end the inning. Through 8-4 Pirates.
Well, check out Hyundai Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live right here on CSN Bay Area. Join Henry Wolford and Kelly Johnson as they will talk about Giants clubhouse reaction, Vogelsong postgame reaction, and Alex Pavlovich postgame notes. All that and more. Hyundai Sportsnet Central right after Giants postgame live.
Did you bring your scarf?
Well, it's Irish night.
Yeah. Here's Peavy. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
The numbers for Peavy, most of his year has been as a starter, but I believe this is the 6th appearance for him out of the pen, and he's starting to figure a lot of things out about the bullpen, about how to handle adrenaline, how to warm up.
Low to Freeze. And what are we waiting on? Fans dropping things out of the stands.
Yeah, they're dropping hats. Second time that's happened. Andrew McCutcheon had to go and retrieve a hat for a young fan.
It's not a beach ball.
No.
Seagulls are anticipating an ending. On the ground towards the hole. Crawford can't get it. Freeze with his second hit, which will put Peavy into the stretch. They are getting ready.
And just sort of lingering out there in the cove. They figured it out. I mean, it looks like stars.
Yes, it does.
I kind of half expect them to spell something out. They're that good.
Yeah, give him any ideas. Here's Marte. Marte hits one high and foul down the right field line and out of play. Marte tonight 2 for 4. 12 hits for the Pirates, and they did not have a hit through 3 innings. But they have just put the pressure on the Giants from the 4th inning on. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. PV tosses to first where Freeze wasn't off the bag. Bouncing ball, kicks off the mound. Panic to Crawford to Belt, double play.
Crawford coming across the bag on the run. And look at the feed from Panic. Perfect, right up there at the chest. Toe taps the bag. And a snow cone from Belt on the first base side. But they do get the double play.
So with 2 outs, here's Matt Joyce. Joyce, powerful left-handed hitter, takes a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
Got their gloves?
Hitting 266. They're ready.
Yeah, why not?
Started to go, but held up. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. New jersey.
Signed by Ryan Vogelsong.
Drive down the right field line, headed into the corner, and it's a foul ball. So it's 1-2.
Joe Panic fan got it. Atta bib. Mom and son at the game. That's what we like to see. How about that?
And it's a little low and away. 2-2.
Not much.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. So last chance for the Giants, and it'll be Pagan to lead things off. And Tony Watson is the new pitcher. He will try to get the last 3 outs of this game.
Well, when Mark Melancon went off to the Washington Nationals, Tony Watson moved up into the closer role. He's got 5 saves, 2.76 ERA, in 49 innings he struck out 43. How does he do it? He got a low to mid-90s fastball. He's got a hard slider and a changeup. And he'll throw everything at you.
Just waiting. So here's Pagan. Pagan doubled in the first. And the pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Belt and then Crawford. On a Monday night, Pirates, Giants, game 1. Of this 3-game series, and a foul out of play.
Giants looking for a little spark here to get things ignited.
2 balls and a strike.
Change up below the strike zone. Fish weren't biting.
Foul back. 2-2. It's been Vogelsong, Bastardo, Rivero, Feliz, and now Watson with a count of 2-2. And a base hit up the middle.
And that's the spark they're talking about. Not a safe situation for the Pirates closer Watson. And if you're the Giants, I mean, you want to keep him out there for a while. Get 30 pitches out of him. And maybe, just maybe, come back and win the game.
And Belt offers at the first pitch and rolls it foul. 3 hits tonight for Brandon Belt. And he pops this one up over by the Giants dugout, but it's going to be in the seats.
Jump ball. Yep, pretty fired up.
That takes low.
Like what their crew chief said, no, he didn't swing. So the guy got the ball and he found a better place to get it to. Sight. That's the look you're looking for.
So Belt out swinging for out number 1 here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Crawford.
Hey, he brought his glove. Now you got something to put in that glove. How about that? Mom brings her glove. That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, Dad. Crawford takes wide. Breaks his bat on the ground. Queso's going to go to first and get the sure out. Down to second goes Pagan. And that'll bring up Pence.
Queso thought about it. He took a look. His lower body was thinking second base.
Here's Pence, and Pence takes wide. Hunter Pence tonight, a base hit. They're not going to run on the third. He's 1 for 4. Panic to follow. And a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a foul into the glove of Cervelli. So it's 1-2.
Challenge fastball inside corner with 92 behind it. A lot of deception in the delivery from Watson. And they say 92 in the speed gun, but it looks a whole lot faster when you're in the box hitting off it.
Outside 2-2.
Hard stuff in, soft stuff away. Been working for 135 years. I don't see any reason why we should think about doing anything else, really.
Look out, and that's going to go to the backstop.
Hard stuff in, soft stuff away, hard stuff back in. A little too far in. But one thing we know about Watson, he will throw any one of his 3 pitches in a 3-2 count. Not giving up, not leaving early.
And the walk. So here's Panic. Joe Panic walked in the first, hit a fly ball to center in the third, popped out in the 5th, and then Rivero struck him out in the 7th. So he's 0 for 3 with a run batted in. His RBI was number 40. Pence is going to go. On the ground towards the hole. Harrison's going to get up and flip. No play. Coming to score is Pagan. And the Giants have picked up a run here in the 9th.
Well, they pick up the run, and none of that. They get the tying run coming up.
So it'll be an infield hit for Panic. And he'll also pick up his 2nd RBI.
I mean, nice range from Harrison to get to it. He just couldn't get a grip on it, and I'm not sure how he's going to throw it. But the fact that he gets to it saves an RBI.
Nunez has hit the ball hard tonight. He's got a home run. And this is what it looked like.
First home run as a Giant, and it was a big one.
And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Watson on the year in 49 2/3 innings, 5 home runs allowed. Just in case you're wondering. Pirates back it up. Doubles defense.
And that's the ball game. So Nunez hits it right on the button, but bounces out. And game 1 in this 3-game series, it goes to the Pirates. Is Ryan Vogelsong is going to beat his old team, and that evens up his record. And Matt Moore is going to take the loss.
Well, I think Matt Moore is going to be a little disappointed because he had a lot of good stuff going, and in the 4th inning, he just could not get rhythm out of the stretch. And I think in the end, that's what did him in. That pitch and the 1 home run that he gave up to Polanco in the 5th or the 6th inning. I mean, that's going to haunt him tonight.
All right, final score: the Pirates 8 and the Giants 4. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Eastern's Giants post game live with interviews, and the wrap starts right now.